Hi, just a quick update about what I've been working on in the Jamstack area. I've now default enabled the new GitLab Pages onboarding screen so that self-hosted will have the feature with 15.4. I've also written documentation for that new onboarding process, including a troubleshooting step if something doesn't work as expected. I've also taken this opportunity to add documentation for Pages that explains the so-called public folder issue. That's a caveat we have in Pages where we need the build output, all the finished HTML pages, etc., in a root folder with the name public. This wasn't too well documented before, especially not particularly explained. So I've now added an entire page about this to the documentation. This also includes examples on how to configure some popular static site generators for that caveat. Ultimately, I want to remove this caveat entirely, but I think this is a very good first step. With all that documentation done, I could finally write a release post. That's all done and merged this last week, so we can finally say we release GitLab Pages onboarding wizard with 15.4. This week then, I've worked on the initial steps of server-side rendering using edge workers. I've realized in the past few weeks that I was missing some deep understanding of the differences between, say, a Node.js environment and a JS worker environment. This affects the way that server-side rendering applications create output and especially handle state, and in turn what is going to be possible and impossible with a dynamic GitLab Pages. I figured to get that deep understanding, it's best to build something. I've recently come across the information that there is no SvelteKit adapter for Fastly. So this seemed like a really good way to get a very deep understanding very quickly. Just for those who don't know, SvelteKit is a rather new framework that is to Svelte what Remix is to React. A server-side rendering framework with full-stack capabilities written in JavaScript. It's able to run on different JavaScript environments using a so-called adapter. There's one for Node.js, one for Cloudflare, and so on. One for Fastly is missing, so I went ahead and started building it. It's a very small task, so a very good way to get this deep understanding that I mentioned earlier very quickly. The information I gather is obviously transferable. It also helps me understand the intricate problems users are facing that we might be able to solve ultimately. I'll publish this adapter as an NPM package if I'm able to finish it, which wasn't even the core point of this exercise. My next step is now to build an example application that I can publish to an edge worker and then document the steps. From there, I can work on reducing or simplifying these steps one at a time. I'll keep you posted on the progress in 2 weeks' time. Until then, bye.